Hello there everyone, Sammy here, otherwise known as Skull140, and I am back for another Transformers review, and looking at the last Prime figure that I have in my collection, because looking back on it now, I have tried to give Prime many chances, and with the way that it has ended thanks to Predacons Rising, it hasn't done anything for me this year, so I'm coming down on it as saying that I felt really disappointed by what Prime tried to do and what it has done, and what I think it could have done is be a really good show, but as a whole, it hasn't done anything for me, is what I'm trying to get at. I thought with Beast Hunters, the third season, that I would probably get back into it again, because after the two seasons had really failed to really do what it should have done, and with the way that the show had ended thanks to Predacons Rising, you can pretty much tell that I'm very disappointed by Prime for a lot of different reasons, which I won't go into here because that's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about this particular character that really, the best way to really summarize it is that it hasn't got any development for this character, is that this character is a very easily amused Predacon. Whether it's surprising Autobots or whacking Skylings over the head with whatever object he can get his hands around, or thinking about gutting another Transformer, this character will easily be amused by it because, to him, it's considered funny. That's what we're going to look at today, because this character, although not developed very well in the Predacons Rising movie, the toy is in fact very good. So let's not waste any time today. We're going to be taking a look at, as the title below pretty much already says, Prime, Beast Hunters, Predacons Rising, Darksteel. Now, like I said for Skylings, whereas I thought that toy was a Beast Wars toy that was put into the Prime line, this is again falling into that whole gap. This toy doesn't feel like any other toy except for a Beast Wars toy, because it's got a really nice Beast mode, and the Robot mode is very nice as well. And, it just feels like a Beast Wars toy. That's really all I can say for it. But I'll get on to the toy later on. Let's talk a little bit about what very little there is to say regarding this character. Darksteel, like I said before at the opening of this, is a very easily amused Predacon. He can get amused by the most simplest of things, like watching an ant walk past by or something. And whether it's surprising Autobots or watching Skylings get hit over the head with a bone, he'll laugh at it. Doesn't matter how stupid it is, he'll laugh at it regarding it. So, he gets his kicks from the most simplest of things, and that's really all there is to say about this character's bio. His involvement in Predacons Rising is, again, the same with Skylings. It's not very interesting, because following his return to Cybertron, Shockwave brought on Skylings and Darksteel, and both these two characters attacked both Ultra Magnus and Smokescreen while they were exploring the Seed of Rust. And when these two characters went on and did their own thing, they met up with Predaking, who, of course, Predaking, in his own way, persuaded these two characters to fall under his rule. And around the end of the movie, you see the three characters, they track down Starscream, intending to exact their revenge in what happened in the movie. And in the movie, he is voiced by Steve Blum, who I won't go through everything he has been in. All that you need to know is he was Spike Spiegel in Cowboy Bebop. The man has played thousands upon thousands of roles. Go to IMDb or Wikipedia just to look at everything he's done. The man is a very hard-working voice actor in so many things that he's been in his career. So really, that's it. I'm sorry, but I really wish I could go into more depth regarding this character, but the fact as well that this character has little to no development, outside of being the chucklehead who ends up working for Predaking by the end of the movie, isn't really that special. And that's really all I can say regarding that. So I really wish there was more to this character to him than rather just being the generic chucklehead, but that's really all that he is just the generic chucklehead. So my disappointment with this character stretches quite far. So, what very little there has been said regarding the character, let's talk about the toy. I like this toy a lot. I think that this toy, this toy's beast mode is, I have no idea what the beast mode is for this toy, except he looks more like, a Ursagriff, which is a hybrid griffin. And, you can see all over this toy is that it's covered in hieroglyphics, which, there's another word for this, cyberglyphics, which is ancient Cybertronian writing, on the arm and on the wing, and of course on the weapon itself. You can see it quite, not as well as much on here, on the camera, but it's quite nice how well put together this toy is, specifically from the cyberglyphics that are on all different parts of this, on different parts of the body of this toy, to just the color scheme alone. Because this toy has been used before. This toy was originally used for Beast Hunter's Grimwing, and again in the Transformers Go series, Budora. I think that's what the name of the character. So I like this character a lot. I think that, well, not the character a lot, the toy a lot, because again, it feels like a Beast Wars toy, because the plastic is actually quite sturdy, it's very thick and very well put together, and Beast toys, specifically for what they can be used for, can either be used for, either you can have the cyborg aesthetic, which is what the Transmetals line was most well known for, but I think this figure really kind of falls into the early stages of what the Beast Wars, the 1996 to 1997 line, which a lot of people consider as the 1996 line was the early line of Beast Wars, and then from 1997 was they've improved that a little bit. This is the it falls into the 1997 improved Beast Wars line, and it looks like it fits into that category very well, because if you took this toy and gave a different color scheme to it and a different name and a different head, you can call this anything and it would work, because one I think Beast Wars should have tried to do was kind of really tie into a little bit more of a mythological character setup, because you could have had one line which was animals and another line which was just mythological creatures, and I think with this you could do it so well. And another thing as well is that if going on to the subject of if you use this toy for something else, do you know what? And this is an idea for anyone that's into customization or kit bashing. If anyone out there is a fan of Transformers Victory, there's a character in there called Desaurus, or Deathsaurus, as it is. And this toy, I think, would work so well for that particular character. The mold is quite nice though, because even though Desaurus turned into a dragon, the dragon beak, the head mold, looked very much like a bird, because of course it had a beak. And with this, it has a beak. But, okay, let's look all over the toy again, because I'm talking a little bit more about what you can do with this toy rather than the toy itself. The color scheme is actually very nice. It's a nice mix of blue with a hint of grey. And the sad thing, though, regarding this toy is that even though the color scheme and the detail is very nice on this toy, the wings don't really move. They're kind of positioned in this taking off position, which is... It's nice, but I think that they could have, the makers of this toy could have given this toy moving wings, which which was something that you saw a lot of in the Transmetals line, specifically in toys like Tigerhawk. You saw the wings move and positioned properly, so the wings could fold in once they've finished flying around. But yeah, the colours are quite nice. The detail, the detail that's on this figure quite nicely. It's nice. There's not really much to it, I think, but the detail on the wings and on the bird, on the head itself. Now, looking at the head again, it's quite a nice looking head, and the beak, of course, it's nice colours from. Of course, you have the orange right there on the head, and the front and the top beak, of course, is orange, and the bottom jaw can move slightly. It's on a moving joint, which of course can open and close, but it's a case of just getting the finger in there to really move this thing in and out. So yeah, the beast mode for this is actually very nice. And you can actually position the back legs to make this toy stand properly, or you can have the legs, of course, slot in properly to make sure that you can have him on his back legs roaring, because of course he is again, I'm trying to remember the name properly, a Ursagriff. Not a griffin, Ursagriff. Say in that same category. It's still a griffin, but it's an Ursagriff. So anyway, now that I've talked a little bit about the beast mode, let's get on to the transformation, which is probably the best thing about this. Take off the weapon, which I'll get onto in a minute. This is a small thing to get onto. Open up the legs, and of course open up the arms, and open out the shoulders, and of course slot that into place. And lift this back piece up, which will reveal the robot head. Of course, just slot in the body, of course. There we go. Now, kind of a problem that I have with this figure is that again, the pieces will often backfire on you from time to time. It's not that the construction of this toy is flimsy. It's really not flimsy at all, but the fact that it keeps it often will pop out from time to time. So don't get angry at me just by saying that, oh, well, you're not very good at the transformation for this figure. I've played with this figure enough to really like it, so... Okay. So here is the robot mode for Darksteel, and really, I like it a lot. I think that I like it a lot. I shouldn't be saying that, because that's, again, taking the whole line from Dumb and Dumber, but I like this, the robot mode a lot from this, because the, okay, let's get on to the head sculpt, first of all. I like that the head sculpt, what very little you can see from this, is going for a little bit of a cyborg aesthetic, because, well, actually, no, sorry, it's not going for a cyborg aesthetic, because this head, it's kind of a simple head design, because, it's got an orange face, blue eyes, because it's not really a Decepticon, blue eyes and a grey head on the front, but the rest of it's at the back. It's a nice head design. It's a shame though that the sky doesn't really come with any light piping, but really, what can you do? But it's on a ball joint, so it can rotate 360 degrees, like all the other joints. Again, 1, 2, 3, arms, 360 degrees. And of course, the legs can bend. Well, actually, hang on a second. Yeah, you can actually, you can rotate the arms 360 degrees. And of course, the wings can bend in and out like so. So you can actually have the wings either just folded up like this, or just out like that, just like he's about ready to take off. And you can actually have these parts of the wings folded down, or folded out. Either way, it's your choice of preference. But honestly, I think they look better folded in, because then it looks more badass that way, I think. So, finally, I think, with that being said and done, the wrists, of course, can rotate, and the wrists, the only moving finger on this is the thumb, so the thumb can really just be positioned in like this. The rest of the other fingers can't move. But, again, the elbows can bend quite nicely, and finally, the legs are quite well jointed. It has an amalgam of different joints to really position, and in fact, you can actually make the joints for this toy. You can make him much taller by having him more joints, which is quite nice. It's a nice little feature for this thing to have, as well as, I'm not sure if you can have it or not here. So for example, you want to stand this guy up, but the posture on this, because he's got all this back heel, which is basically what it is, weighing him down a little bit. You can actually have these as like feet stands, so that when you want to have this guy positioned in robot mode and you have the wings tucked all the way back, this is the best way to do it. So, finally, what else is there to wrap up? You have his weapon, which, again, this is tying back to what the Beast Wars line had, in that the Beast Wars line had some very gimmicky weapons. This is a very gimmicky weapon right here, because it's a grappling hook. By that I mean, okay, you untie this piece, which of course can shoot the string. This harkens back to the weapons that Tarantulas and Black Arachnia had. And, of course, this grey button right here, you push that, and it fires open the... Halfway fires open the... Oh, there we go, yeah, okay, so yeah. Because I wasn't holding it properly, that it kind of really backfired on me. But again, going back into it again, you just slot it back in, and then you fire the... Come on, fuck. That's it, you fire the hook. Okay, and again, it works better when it's, when this isn't tied around or when you're holding it from a different angle, because then, of course, yeah, but this is the grappling hook, which, strangely enough, he never really uses in the movie. In animation form, you don't really see him use it. Which, again, is kind of a problem with this toy, is that this toy, along with, Skylinks, they're not show accurate. Which, I guess that's fair. The other toys are show accurate, but the Predacons, the only three Predacons, with Predaking, I have not got Predaking yet, but these two aren't very show accurate, so your enthusiasm for show accurate toys is limited to what you have here. So finally, wrapping this up, let's just get this weapon into his hand to give him a much more semi-plausible looking battle stance. I like this toy a lot, I think. The robot mode is very nice, the beast mode is very nice. This is a really nice looking toy. And the plastic on this is very sturdy and very strong, so you can... As disappointing as Predacons Rising was to me, those two toys of Skylinks and Darksteel are the best thing to like from that movie. So, be happy for what you've got with this. So, as much as I don't like the character. I don't like the character because he wasn't really that well developed, and that's weird coming from me because I prefer character over toys. This is an instance where the toy is easily the winning contender in this, so the toy is very good. I would love to see this toy get re-released as a different character, because this would work better as a Beast Wars character, or if they were bringing a Transformers Victory character back into the modern series it is, or Transformers. Use this, because I think it works quite well. So, final thoughts. I like this toy. I think it works quite well for anything other than just Prime. This is a Beast Wars figure waiting to happen, I think. So it's got nice colours, it's got a nice design, it's a very good toy. So I would highly recommend it. So that's it. That's my whole wrapping up with Prime, because now that Prime's done, I will look forward to whatever the next Transformers series is, because with Prime, it doesn't do anything for me, honestly. So. And that's just my opinion, though. I could be wrong. For a lot of people, you can be enthusiastic regarding Prime however way you see it. But me, personally, I don't like Transformers Prime because it failed for me on a lot of different levels, which I won't go into here. And we're kind of really reaching that limit now. So anyway, yes, this has been Prime Beast Hunters Predacons Rising Darksteel. It's a really good toy. I highly recommend it. And I'm Skull140. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. See you all soon.